Hi all, this is going to be a short video about my most recent trip to Karahan Tepe, which is located next to the Turkish city of Şanlıurfa. Şanlıurfa is interesting in its own right, being a city that's so old that it's mentioned with some confidence in the Bible. That was a common theme of things that we saw on this trip to Karahan Tepe. Things were so old that they're in the Bible. But this site actually predates the Bible. It's a site that's approximately more than 10,000 years old, and we're going to do some focusing on the face of Karahan Tepe, which is a structure that is, I think, integrated into the actual location. Here's a map that outlines where we're going. All right, enjoy the video. Okay, so we've just arrived at Karahan Tepe. There is La Maria. Did not come at midday. We've come at literally like the hottest part of the day. Also June, the hottest part of the day, the hottest part of the year. This is how you get into Karahan Tepe. And we begin our ascent.
Wait, how did we arrive?
By taxi?
Explain the
We booked a taxi to whom we have paid a fixed rate of 1,500 lira. It's about like £75 or something.
Yeah, I think it's quite expensive.
It's relatively expensive, yeah. It would have been much cheaper to rent a car, but
Yeah,
rent a car. Beautiful little flowers here.
Thank God for the wind.
What was kind of funny was there was probably about half a dozen guys back at the that little visitor centre, and we were about to walk across some dirt, and they were very keen to point out to us that we should walk along the defined path, which I thought was quite nice.
Work on the side, maybe?
I don't know if they work on the side or what, but yeah, they're chilling.
Maybe they were like lunchtime break, as in do not be under the sun
That's a family of dogs.
Oh wow,
That's hilarious.
that's scary. Oh, we cannot go out of these.
No, I guess we could walk literally along there.
That's not like we could kind of try.
Wow. How cool is that? And that's the face. That's the do the face. Yeah, this is unbelievable. And I think that's bedrock down there. And this is obviously one of the much larger chambers where it's actually had some things pushed over or destroyed. These dogs probably wouldn't have been here historically. These dogs look like coyotes. Coming up. There's like a heap of T-pillars up there that you can see. Just very cool. And yeah, that's the face, Maria. Look at the excavation on that.
Yeah. That's Do we know if the small ones have as well faces? Or just...
They might have, that one there might have a face on it, potentially. The one there. If you're watching this video, then I'm going to assume that this isn't the first time that you've heard about Karahan Tepe or the other Tepe sites. But for just basic background, this site is located near Yagmulu, and roughly 35 kilometres east of the 12,000-year-old Göbekli Tepe site. Scholars estimate now that the Karahan Tepe site is even older than Göbekli Tepe, which makes it at present the oldest known Neolithic site ever discovered. I think it's worth speaking a bit about the face that you can see in this picture. It appears to be carved into the bedrock. It's not a separate structure, it's not a statue. Many of the statues that were found at this site were later taken to the museum that is at Şanlıurfa. The head has a strange sort of flatness at the top, and at the bottom the neck curves down gently into the bedrock wall below. The head has thick features and a thick square jaw. It's unclear if the artist was aiming for some sort of direct likeness or simply just giving a stylistic interpretation of a human that was afforded by perhaps a natural outcropping of rock. I've heard speculation that the sun shines through the porthole that you see just slightly on the left-hand side, and that will come into view as the photograph transitions into the next shot. You'll see on the left-hand side there's a porthole, and supposedly at certain times of the year, solstices, and the other sort of the equinoxes and other time, these sort of astrologically significant events, the sun shines through and hits the face. And that sort of, I think, continues to raise questions about whether or not the sites were covered, or if they were enclosed. If they were enclosed, it would obviously give a lot less credence to the idea that these sites were related to astronomy. But if they were open, and then had some interplay between the skies, the sun, the stars, and the objects and design of the buildings, then I think that would give more credence to that idea. Since I was there at a blazing hot midday in June, I didn't take time to investigate the angles that the sun might come in through. But it's worth thinking about, and I think it goes some way to giving perhaps an indication, maybe a clue, as to why these faces have adorned these areas. The other interesting thing is that the floor of this area appears to have a type of a seal, a rock seal that's been applied, so that any liquids that were in there would sit and pool. And I think that's also worth considering, because I think it gives some indication that perhaps water, perhaps liquids were used in this area for different purposes, and might give some further grounds for speculation about what the purpose of this area was for. Well, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you learnt something about Karahan Tepe. I'll include a few links to sites where you can go and read a little bit more about this amazing archaeological site. And I might do a few more videos just sort of talking about the things that I've seen, and some more wild speculation about what is to be discovered at Karahan Tepe.